Hey, how's it going, guys? Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder recently had their trilogy fight, and what ended up happening was Tyson Fury ended up obliterating Deontay Wilder in the 11th round. So, overall, this was a good fight. I enjoyed it. I think a lot of people enjoyed it. If you're a Tyson Fury fan, you really enjoyed it. And if you're a Deontay Wilder fan, you're probably disappointed. But overall, I mean, listen, no fighter really has, any reason to hold their head down in shame. I mean, they both gave a good fight, and, you got to respect them for it. So, um, I'm going to basically give my thoughts and, break down this fight. But before I get into that, I just want to say the reason I didn't give an immediate reaction the fight is because I actually just got done traveling and I haven't really been able to, get the chance to give my recent thoughts on the fight. So, yeah, also something happened with my channel because, apparently me traveling to a different country affected, me logging into my channel. I don't know why, but I wasn't really able to log back into my channel. And yeah, I wasn't able to post anything. So, very strange, but I mean, it's all sorted now. So, yeah, anyway, let's get into this fight. So, um, I'll go through basically round by round the fight, because it was interesting throughout. So, round one, you had Deontay Wilder coming out with the body shots, and I think he won the first round because of those body shots. You know, I think it wasn't really that close. I think Deontay Wilder clearly won that round. It seemed like Tyson Fury was trying to. He was being very complacent in that round. I was kind of surprised with how little he was doing in that round. He just had his guard up and he was kind of just backing up a lot. Um, so, in my opinion, that was a clear Deontay Wilder round. The second round was a bit closer, but I still think Wilder edged that round again. The reason being because of the body shots. I think ultimately the body shots is what won him the first two rounds. Um, but the second round was closer. Third round was clearly Tyson Fury's because of the knockdown he scored, which was a 10-8. Um, as soon as I saw that, I thought, as soon as I saw that live, I thought, okay, Wilder's probably getting flashbacks from the second fight because that's exactly what happened in the second fight. You had Tyson Fury dropping Deontay Wilder in the third round. So, that probably had a mental effect on Deontay Wilder in the fight. But you had Deontay Wilder came back with two knockdowns, which I didn't expect. I can tell you that. Um, and it's not so much that I wasn't surprised that he was able to drop Fury. I was more surprised just by the fact that he was able to get up from a knockdown and score a knockdown himself, or score two knockdowns himself in the same round. You know what I mean? So, yeah, looking back at it though, the second knockdown really shouldn't have been a knockdown, or technically it does count as a knockdown, but what I'm saying is that it's not really like a legitimate knockdown, if that makes sense. Because it was more of a slap, and in my opinion, Tyson Fury, he looked to be taking a dive or something. Just it looked like he was trying to recover or take more time to recover, right? Um, I mean, if I was Fury, I wouldn't do that because, you don't know what the ref is gonna do. He might um, wave off the fight, but you know, because I mean, if you're dropped twice in the same round, that could be you could give a sign to the ref that you're not fit to fight anymore. But regardless, I mean, Fury was clearly rocked in that round. He was clearly hurt in that round, and I guess it does still count as a knockdown because Wilder did land with his glove, and it was on the behind the ear. So, overall, it's a 10-7 round for Wilder. And yeah, the fifth round was a bit close, although I would edge it to Tyson Fury. I think he did a bit more than Wilder in that round. And from there on, I had Fury winning every other round. I just think that Fury was dominating clearly. Wilder, he was trying to fight back, but it was more so that his body was or his mind was willing, but his body wasn't. You know what I mean? Like he had the heart, he had the courage to fight on, but it wasn't enough, if that makes sense, right? Like his body just couldn't react. Like he didn't have the pop and the power in his punches anymore. And like I said, I respect the courage and the heart, but and the toughness. But like I said, he just didn't have anything physically going for him. Fury ended up scoring another knockdown in rounds. It was either like the 9th or 10th round. I can't remember clearly, but after that, you had Fury scoring the knockdown in the 11th, and that's what resulted in the fight getting a stoppage. So yeah, good fight. It was competitive, not in terms of like technique or skill, but more so just in the competitiveness. Just the fact that both fighters really wanted to win. Wilder really wanted to win this fight. Fury really wanted to win this fight, and I think that's what made it entertaining, if that makes sense. Now, there are some things that I did not like about this fight, and that was the holding and clinching from Tyson Fury. I thought Tyson Fury was clinching a lot in this fight, and it was getting just boring at times. You know what I mean? Like, I was watching this fight in a restaurant with a bunch of other people, and everyone else was, wondering what the hell was going on as well. You know what I mean? Fury was clearly, rocked from the 4th round, and he was just basically holding Wilder to, take more time to recover, and it worked. It was dirty tactic, but it worked. And for Wilder, I mean, you had him rabbit punching Tyson Fury a lot, which I'm not surprised by, because Wilder does have his moments of fighting dirty throughout his career, but yeah, those are the things I didn't really like about the fight. I don't like seeing that in matches, right? I've explained that before. I've explained how Tyson Fury is a dirty fighter, and yeah, I didn't like it about the fight. Granted, it wasn't as dirty as the second fight they had. You know what I mean? I thought that fight was just, trash, in my opinion. That fight should have ended in a no contest, in my opinion, considering the amount of rabbit punching and holding and headlocking and just overall legal tactics that Tyson Fury was using in that fight. You know what I mean? But yeah, this fight, it's still dirty, but it was better. I thought this fight was much better than the second fight. So, yeah, overall good fight. I guess what made Fury win this fight is the timing. I think Fury just had better timing with his punches than Deontay Wilder, and he had better accuracy, right? He scored a hard knockdown, which was his second knockdown. I forgot which round it was, but it was like right behind the ear. And then same with the third knockdown. And it was just a pitch perfect punch. It was perfectly timed. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think that's just what got him the win. And just also the fact that he was the bigger fighter, the taller fighter, the fact that he was leaning on Wilder a lot, and all that. With Deontay Wilder, what went wrong with him in this fight? Me personally, I think it was the weight. Like, I really do. Like I said before, I thought Wilder was going to come into this fight lighter. I was very shocked to see him come in at 238 pounds or something ridiculous. Why he decided that it was a good idea to come into this fight heavier was beyond me, right? Considering he was really slow at the second fight, and in my opinion, that's kind of one of the main reasons he had a poor performance in that second fight. And you could see that in this third fight, even though he did come in better shape, he was slow with his punches. They didn't really have any pop in them. He was able to land one good punch on Tyson Fury that was perfectly timed, but I mean, still, it's like why he would come in heavier just is beyond me, right? Because me personally, I think Deontay Wilder fights better at a lighter weight, just in my opinion. And yeah, it was very odd to see that, but yeah, I think it's just ultimately it was Fury's timing and accuracy is what won him the fight. And yeah, in terms of what each fighter should do from now on, Fury, I don't know, he's got to fight the winner of AJ and Usyk. We want to see that undisputed fight happen, right? You know what I mean? Now that Usyk has won, now that we have a rematch with those two, we have to wait a long time again. But yeah, we want to see that fight. Fury can fight maybe Dylan White while he's waiting, something like that. And yeah, in terms of Deontay Wilder, people are saying that he should retire. I don't think he should retire. I really don't. He's not that old, right? He's 35. You know what I mean? And I understand that, the older you get, the harder it is to, lose weight or stay lean and all that. But it's not like Deontay Wilder's cutting weight, right? He's at heavyweight. You know what I mean? He can still fight again. I mean, if Joshua loses to Usyk, then, he can fight Joshua, right? I think that'd be a good fight. That's a fan favorite, considering, those two were supposed to fight back in 2018. And I think a lot of people would watch that fight. I think that's a big money fight, in all honesty. But yeah, Wilder, he kind of blew his chance with the, getting his WBC title back. Because we're not going to see a fourth fight. And even if we do, Wilder's got to prove himself to get a shot again at the title. He's got to get 3 good wins at least. And even then, it's still tough to see that fight happening again. I think the Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury chapter is over. Tyson Fury is shown to be the superior fighter out of the two. And, yeah, because, you had the first fight, which was a draw. The first fight, I personally thought Wilder won that fight, despite, what everyone was saying. Right? Unpopular opinion, but that's how I feel. Second fight went to Fury. And then this fight, in my opinion, is just what settled it. This settled the winner between the two. So, yeah, a fourth fight is, we could see it in the future, but at the moment, I don't know. I think we should just move on at this moment, Fury should fight the winner of AJ Usyk. Wilder can fight someone else, and yeah. But anyway, that's it for this video. Overall, good fight. I enjoyed it. People are saying it's like one of the best, or if not the best fight ever. I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? Like, people are comparing it to Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman, or Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. Let me tell you something. Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier 3, the third fight. I mean, that was in my opinion, that is the best boxing match ever in the history of the sport. That's the best fight ever, in my opinion. Right? And I don't think, Fury versus Wilder isn't on the same level as that fight. Right? And, yeah, obviously, if you're, if you're a Fury fan, then you're going to think that this is the best fight ever, right? But, yeah, I think there's a lot of other better fights out there. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Did you like the fight? What do you think of it? And, yeah, so I'll see you guys in the future. Thank you all for watching. Take care and peace.